I'm Norm Schrein with Information Radio. I'm with Dave Miller, the head coach of the Fairmont Firebirds. And Coach, week 9, things are wrapping up kind of quickly here now.
Yep. It's hard to believe, but yep, here we are.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about last week with your win over Springboro. The first touchdown was a 48-yard touchdown pass from Baker to Thornton. Describe what worked for that touchdown to result.
Well, we got good protection, kind of had the right matchup we wanted, and Cam's pretty fast, so he did a pretty good job, getting by their corner. Brock threw a perfect pass. I mean, it was really right on the money. Just he never broke stride, so that was a really good way to start the game for sure. Just to come out of the box like that and get one on them, because we knew it was going to be a tough one, and it turned out to be. Things settled down after that, so that was pretty big.
In the third quarter, when Springboro cut the Fairmont lead to 14-7, on the 3rd and 1, Logan Doty broke loose for a 48-yard touchdown run. What happened for this touchdown to occur?
Oh, it was 4th and 1. We actually went for it on 3rd and 2, and he got a yard. We thought we might have had, the first down, but he was a little bit short. But just, those kind of things happen. I think sometimes, 4th down situations, you have the defense really laying their ears back and coming, and Logan just did a nice job. He just kept going. He's really good. He has good balance. Keeps his feet running, and his pad level was pretty good. He just, he's pretty fast too after that. So another huge play, to get that against a tough defense.
It seems the philosophy of the defense was to keep the big pass play from happening. How successful was that, considering there was no completion over 18 yards?
I think huge. We knew coming in they were, fairly explosive at times. Their receiver, Wilhite, he's really good, and he sets you up. And we talked to our DBs about all week, staying on top of routes and not falling for, a kind of a show and go or whatever you want to call it. And they tried it one time. We got a sack on it, but I thought we did a nice job. They had to pull the ball down and throw it, in the flats, and we came up and tackled it pretty well. And that's us philosophically. We're trying to make them earn everything they get. And their one scoring drive, I think it was 18 plays. And we did a pretty good job. That we had them on a 3rd down and goal, and we had, first 2 plays we'd done a nice job there. And they ran a nice play. They ran a bootleg on us and got us. But really, our defense played pretty well, against a very good offense. So it's good stuff.
All right. Who impressed you on defense? And let's start with a name we haven't mentioned before, Garrett Wardell, who's had 7 tackles.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett and Caleb Moore both were pretty busy. I think they were leading tacklers, which, again, philosophically what we were trying to do is get them to throw short, and those guys came up and just kept making tackles and making them earn it. They played well. I think what you don't see from that is, the other side of it, where they're staying on top of routes and just not letting people go by them. That's huge. If we give up big plays, that's a problem. If we get in a shooting match with people, that's not going to be good. So they did a great job. I think, the whole defense, they improved dramatically from the week before, and we got to continue to do that because we got a tough one this week. But it was pretty cool.
All right, let's turn to Springfield. You had to prepare for Upshaw and Keys at quarterback. What are their differences?
Well, I think Keys I wouldn't say better, more of a running threat, but Upshaw can run. He does that consistently, gets them out of bad plays, and he can throw. He's probably a better thrower. I think overall, just he's been a starter. So that happens. Not that there's anything wrong with Keys, because he's pretty good too. But they're both really good, really athletic. They do a good job coaching those guys up, and they've got a lot of talent to distribute the ball to. So that's going to be another challenge for us.
Okay. Wafer, Fletcher, and Lay, 3 wide receivers who can be game breakers. Do you go into this game planning for a single coverage?
Absolutely not. We're not putting our guys in those situations. So, again, I think the MO is the same, of what we tried to do last week. We don't play man coverage. That's a bad idea. I think teams that do that, they pay. So, we want to try to stay in a situation where we keep everything underneath us and but that's hard, because they do a good job of getting those guys in space, and that's a problem too. So we have to be, at our best Friday. We know that. They exploded on Friday night, and I knew they would. It's just a matter of time. So same MO. We're going to have to do the same thing on offense, defense, and just try to play keep away.
Other than the Wayne game, the defense has allowed 10 points a game. What are your impressions of Springfield's defense?
Oh, they're outstanding. You look at them, the run defense in particular, they're right there with Springboro, and we struggled to move the ball against them. Really, that we did a good job. I shouldn't say struggle, but they made it really tough on us. So we had to earn everything we get. Our offense did a good job, but we're gonna have to do it again, because what they're good at is what we do. You look at Wayne. That's people have already said to me, well, they got beat 30, whatever the score was. I'm like, they have 4 Division I wideouts with a Division I quarterback throwing to them, and a pretty much D1 running back, Wayne. So we don't have those type of kids that can just run past people, and that's not how we do things. So we're gonna have to be very patient and just do a good job up front, like we've done. So it's gonna be a great challenge. We're looking forward to it. It's exciting.
So this is an important game. Not only like every game is important, but there's a lot more riding on this particular matchup. How do you keep your team psyched up, or do you think they're already there?
We focused on day to day, and I think this team has done a great job of that, just looking at our process and going about it each day. And I know it sounds really cliche, but we harp on it so much that I think our guys understand. We just don't get real out of our our process what we're doing. If we start doing that, we're going to be in trouble. So you just look at each day and you try to conquer that day and do the best you can with it. And then Friday night, if you've done a good job of that, you put yourself in a pretty good position to hopefully have the outcome come in your favor. But that's kind of where our focus is.
Here we are, mid-October, and this is the first football weather game you'll be having, right?
Yeah, that's Springfield week. Usually when we go up there, it's kind of cold and rainy, and we've had some late in the season battles with them. I can think back to 2018. We had to go up there back-to-back weeks, and they were knockdown, drag-out type games, which is what you want this time of year. So it's pretty exciting. I think our guys are pretty fired up.
Okay, Coach. Well, thank you again for taking the time to speak with me today, and good luck on Friday.
Thanks, Norm.
We'll be watching you.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. I'm Norm Schrein, Information Radio 1660, and I am in Springfield with the Sprigfield Wildcats head football coach, Maurice Douglas.
Yes, sir.
Coach, looks like we got about 6 or 7 questions for you.
No problem, Norm.
Let's start with the defense. 70 points allowed in 70 games, but 36 points allowed in the Wayne game, with almost 400 passing yards allowed. Can you just chalk it up to a bad game, or are there concerns that worry you going into this week?
No, it was a bad game just by our team as a whole. We had a lot of things going on that week. It was Wayne week, and we had a lot of guys that needed to be humbled. And sometimes if you don't humble yourself, God said he'll humble you, and we got humbled that week.
Okay. Against an overmatched Beaver Creek team last week, what aspects did you want to work on to get ready for this week?
Just seeing the system. Coach Trace has been with Coach Dave Miller for the last 3 or 4 years over at Fairmont prior to this year. And it was a good preview of what we're going to see formationally and how they run their system. Just going to be a lot more perfected by Fairmont this weekend.
At quarterback, you've gone with Upshaw primarily, but sometimes it's Keys. What are the 2 differences from one to the other?
Keys is just a little bit more elusive, somebody that you can do the RPOs with the running portion of it. With Brendan there, not that he can't run, but we've done RPOs with him, but he's the distributor through throwing the ball.
Okay, and what concerns do you have about the rushing game averaging less than 3 yards a carry?
Hey, sometimes you got to throw the run, and that's what we have to do. We're not a power running game. We're not Fairmont's running game. I wish we were, but we can get those things in the passing game and get those short passes out of the backfield and those slots and catching bubbles and things like that, and give you the similar type of run game, just on the 3 or 4 yard gains in the pass.
Okay, can you give us a rundown on your top receivers, Lay, Fletcher, and Wafer?
Wafer? Yeah. Sherrod is more of the little slot guy. He's an in and out of his breaks, cut guy. We use him on returns. He's our punt returner and our kick returner. And those guys are usually guys that you want to try to get out in space. Wafer is more of the intermediate threat, guy that you can get on the crosser and over routes and things like that. Whereas Fletcher's our tight end, but he also lines up at wide receiver. He's 6'5" and 217, and he's the guy that we try to utilize to take off top.
On defense, who are some of the impact players, starting with top tackler Kyron Dolby?
Kyron Dolby. Kyron is our leading tackler. He's probably he's one of the major heartbeats of the defense. He's been a 3-year starter for us and a guy that's played a lot of football and just really a spearhead for our defense, and we're excited to have him out there this weekend.
And finally, as for Fairmont, they've been dominant since the loss to Centerville. What do you see in them, especially offensively, that might be of a concern for this game?
The offensive line's firing off the ball really well. They're doing a great job of they'll lull you to sleep by running the dive, and then they'll run the quarterback. But now they've added another portion, which is little Cam Thornton. Cam's done a great job of those guys on the perimeter, on the hitting people. In his passing last week, he was a receiver, and then they got him outside on some pitches and things like that. So we just have to be sound all the way across the board, tackle the dive every play, tackle the quarterback every play, and then get to the pitch man when they do pitch it.
So, as you mentioned, Fairmont likes to lull you to sleep. So how do you motivate your players to keep an eye out for what they might have up their sleeve?
The GWalk title is on hand. Is here. This is the game for it. Us two, we beat Centerville, and Centerville beat you guys, so we beat you guys and handle our business next week against Northmont, then we'll be the champs. So the title is on hand, and we just have to go out there and perform well on Friday nights.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, and good luck on Friday night.
Thank you, Norm. Appreciate it. Good to see you again.
All right.